What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Sporgo. And I know I'm late on covering Spectrum, but that's because I knew we were going to get the bios after the faction battle or faction war ended. So I just wanted to go ahead and wait for that instead of just going out and buying a bio sub. So I ended up using a 6-star mega rank up ticket and then a mega advancement ticket on the old girl because I actually had an excess of those things. And I got to tell you guys, like, as a tier 2 character, non-transcended, she's a pretty strong character. I mean, she's got some power, but man, there are some critiques that I do have when it comes to this character. For example, she has long cooldown on this fifth skill, and this is pretty much where you want to put that proc. This is going to be about a 10-second cooldown, and you guys know how I feel about these long cooldowns. I mean, they're just not proc friendly because whenever your proc starts, from the time it starts to the time that you can restart it again is typically around 7 seconds. So whenever you see a cooldown that's around 9 seconds, 10 seconds, you think, oh man, I'm going to have to run around, fort around a little bit so that way we can start that proc all over again. And that kind of sucks. Now, she is a solid character. I mean, she does have immunity on her second skill. She does have damage accumulation and a heal, but her damage accumulation is only 0.7%. We all know that the stronger characters are going to have that +1, +1.2, 1.5%. She does have a heal, but unfortunately, the problem with her heal is the same problem that she has with her 4 and her 5. Now you'll get the lightning damage, you'll get the all defense down almost immediately, the 5th skill, you'll get the all attack buffs almost immediately. But the problem is, for all 3 of those skills, the 5, the 4, and the 3, you have to delay to get the full benefits of them. For example, with the 3, you have to wait till she kind of explodes out, and get a heal. You don't get the heal unless you wait a little bit. And then on the 4, in order to have continuous damage from the 4, you have to delay it a little bit too, which makes it very unproc friendly. It's really more suited for a CTP of Rage because of that reason. And the same for a 5th skill. You can cancel the 5th skill just like you can the 4, but you have to wait a little bit in order to do it. So let me show you what I'm talking about. And by the way, it is nice that she does have paralysis on that 5th skill. But the thing is, the heal comes now. That's when she gets the heal. And she's going to do some hits. She could trigger the proc whenever she does that. Now, the nice thing about her is she does have that immunity on the second skill that is for 3 seconds. And this is only on around a 4-second cooldown. So you can have immunity up pretty often, even though she has a long cooldown on the 5. And that's actually really good for survivability. A lot of newer players would actually like that quite a bit. Even if they have fairly long cooldowns on their cards, at least they'll have their immunity up often, but they're not going to have their skills up as often as what they like. But the 4, if you cancel the 4 immediately, you get no residual damage and you don't get the all defense down from it. So you actually have to let it, there you go, do a hit. And that's the problem, right? You have to delay and wait for a while to get the heal from the 3rd skill if you do take any damage. But on the 4th skill, you actually have to land a hit. And a lot of times when you land that hit, it will trigger the proc. The only way to get the residual damage from this thing and get the all defense down is to let it hit, right? And then you see all the lightning running around. But that's it. It's a beautiful skill. She's got gorgeous skills. And the same with the 5. I mean, this 5 is a nice long iframe, got the attack buffs on it. It's beautiful, right? You got the paralysis to lock them down in place, other than, of course, Null and Mephisto and the last couple phases of Thanos. But the thing about canceling the skill is you have to let her fly up in the air and then slam down, and then you can cancel the skill. But the thing is, she'll do some hits before you can cancel it. So it's the same with the 5 and the 4. She's going to land a hit before you can actually cancel the skill and get the residual damage from it. So it doesn't make her very proc friendly because of that. And I don't know. I really don't like the fact that they did that. The other thing that I kind of don't like, and she is a good character, she is a solid character, but the other thing that I think is wacky is whenever they put lightning damage on one skill, and there's no other elemental damage on any other skill. So whenever you build the character, you're really better off just putting a regular critical damage proc obelisk, unless you're going to use it for PvP. I know she does have some uses when she's transcended in PvP, but she's not at the top of the meta. I think a lot of players just aren't going to use her. I don't see her in timeline at all. I don't see anybody using this character at all. But, I mean, she's pretty straightforward to play. I mean, you just hit the 3 for the damage accumulation, hit the 4, you delay. I mean, unfortunately, you got to let her do that hit, get that all defense down, and then go into the 5. Now, the thing about the character is she does have the leadership tag. So you can take advantage of White Fox if you want, which is nice. And you can look at the stats here. The stats actually look pretty decent. You know, we got max attack speed, 190 critical damage. We have 55 crit rate, right? Max more defense, max skill cooldown. And she doesn't have any Urus. You guys know that I like to test characters without all that. You know, actually, let's change this to critical damage. Let's change that to critical damage. I just built the girl. There we go. Now let's take a look at our critical damage, see how that's looking. Okay, so now we have max critical damage, just a little bit over. So that's a little bit better. She'll be a little bit stronger than what she was when I tested her a second ago. We have a stage 6 Power of Angry Hulk set on her. And then, of course, the 120 proc and no uniform. So we'll take a girl against Cole. She is an energy-based character. She does have lightning damage on the one skill. But again, I either wish they wouldn't have had any lightning damage or just had lightning damage on all of her skills. That would have been sick. But they didn't. So we got White Fox because she can't take advantage of it. And Nick Fury, this is stage 99 against Cole. And I'll show you guys what she can do without any strikers. I do think it's a bummer that you have to, all these skills are delayed. I mean, that just, oh man. It'd be so much nicer if you just hit the skill and cancel into the skill and get all the residual damage from the previous skills that you're using. Characters that have that really do end up being just super, super OP. There we go. We hit our immunity. We're going to run around, run around. Her movement speed isn't the greatest. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. It could be a little bit faster, wouldn't hurt. It is nice that she's in an iframe during the 5th skill, and you can always cancel into the immunity in the 2nd skill if you're in danger. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Like, with the rage, she would be better. It's pretty obvious because you can actually do damage with the 2nd skill while that 5th skill is going on. I mean, all these delayed skills really just signifies rage, rage, rage. But as you can see, old girl's got some power. I mean, she's not weak by any means. She's got some damage. I just think she's one of those characters that really is just going to be used mainly for a support due to her leadership, which is an amazing leadership. 36% increase to all attack and 36% increase to dodge, ignore dodge. Is very, very strong. Now we do need to get a heal here. Oh. Now I went ahead and used the 5th skill. And I wanted to get that heal. That was really, really important there. There we go. And by the way, if you're trying to get her heal, that's how you do it. Ooh. Okay, and right now it seems like the proc's actually staying where it belongs. It doesn't seem like it's playing too bad. You got to be real careful of the purple there. And there, the 4 actually triggered the proc, kind of screwed us a little bit. You'll notice there's 2 procs, one for the CTB of Insight that's on White Fox, and then one, of course, for our damage proc. The one all the way to the left is actually the one for White Fox. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Now you can't cancel that 2nd skill. Oh, okay, okay. Let's go, let's go. I thought I was going to die there. But I mean, I know this is a terrible build, right? But this is how I always like to test characters. Especially since I have, 13% pierce on my account. And I do have a good amount of energy attack. I mean, I have over 100% energy attack. And we really are in a day and age where we really come to expect characters to be a little bit stronger. Now, you can't expect every character to be meta. That's obvious. If we did, then, I mean, if we did, the game would get stale and boring. I mean, that's just kind of the truth of it, right? If every character was meta, it'd just be boring. But she does have some power. She is a solid character and fairly easy to play. Except for the fact that she really isn't super proc friendly. There again, our proc hit on the 4th skill, which is a bummer. I feel like people are just going to transcend this character mainly for her leadership. That's pretty much it, unfortunately. And it's always a bummer whenever characters are just used for supports, but at least she'll be used for something, right? She's not going to sit on the shelf. She does have a transcendent skill. People can use her, so that's actually a good thing. Oh. Get over here, get over here. Yee, watch those tornadoes, watch those tornadoes. And man, that proc just keeps triggering on that 4 skill. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I said a rage would actually be optimal for her, because you'll be able to chain all your skills together. You'll be able to get a little bit more damage out of it, you know, plus the fact that she does have that long cooldown on that freaking fist skill. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and pause it. So, I mean, we're down almost to 6 bar. You can see, like, I mean, and there's other characters with builds like this, being level 60, no Urus, and having a low damage proc, that can actually plow through this pretty quick. So, she's not the strongest character, and I mean, she's getting White Fox's support. She's getting Nick Fury's support. She's not the strongest character. Maybe she would do a little bit better with White Fox in the leadership, because she does have all defense down on her 4 skill, but it only stacks up to 50%, and it starts off at 5%. So she's got to do, you know, 10 hits before it's actually capped out at 50%. And White Fox leadership will bump this up, but it's not like a character that has all defense down that's like at 65%, right, or 60%, where that 40% increased debuff effect really jacks it up really good. 50% with a 40% debuff effect just really isn't enough, in my opinion, to use her in the leadership. I think you'd actually be better with Nick Fury in the leadership. But I mean, she's a decent character. She's a good character, but she definitely isn't what we expected. We really expected more. I really would have liked to seen that heal come at the very beginning of the 3rd. I would have liked to seen us been able to cancel the 5 and the 4 immediately. That would have been nice. And I'm pretty sure she's just going to be relegated to this. I'm pretty sure that most people that are going to level this character up are going to have this nice leadership that gives that 36% increase of energy attack and that ignore target die trade by 36%, which is OP for null. This is an OP leadership. So at least she has some relevance. I mean, she does have the increase all attack from her passive, which is nice, right? And then she has a 100% chance to dodge physical attack. So when against like physical attacking characters, like even in PvP, I could see her being useful. Unfortunately, though, a lot of the metas are energy based, so that's not going to be really that great there for the most part. Against certain characters, it would, but against the main metas, nah, it's not going to, because they're energy based. But she does have the decreased energy damage received by 60%, which is useful against energy-based characters. And the fact that she does have the 100% chance to increase critical damage by 50% on critical attacks means she does have 250% critical damage, which is a lot. It's a lot. Like I said, she's got some power. She's a decent character. She's a solid character. But I find her a little awkward to play because of all the delay skills. You have to wait and cancel into them. And I find her awkward. You know, characters like this, at least for me, end up sitting on the shelf because they're not very consistent on landing their procs, and I'm all about landing procs. If I can't keep landing procs where they belong, then I really don't want to play with the character. I mean, there's a lot of great characters that I love in this game, like Namor, Thor, Scarlet, Waifu, that I never play with because I don't like their long cooldowns. I can't stand those things, even though I might have a rage on them. I just don't like long cooldowns. I like characters that are very, very proc friendly and just can keep running through the rotations. But Spectrum looks cool. She's got some decent power, respectful damage, but nothing meta, unfortunately, which is fine. I do feel like newer players, like on my free-to-play account, this is going to be a damn good character, especially early on in the game. I think she's going to be a terrific character for newer players that are joining the game. Maybe they started playing the game during the faction battle or faction war, and they ended up getting her. I mean, I think they'll benefit from her quite a bit because of her leadership and because she does have really respectful damage. On a new account, she's going to be pretty damn strong, pretty OP, and very impressive. But on an account with all of these developed characters, not so much, unfortunately. So let me know how you're all feeling about Spectrum, and I do stream on Twitch at Reset. The link will be in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.